I'm seeing red. The hunger for war is in my blood. Hunger is flowing in my lungs. You can see it in my eyes. I am the phoenix about to rise. I'm seeing red. Do I die alive or dead? Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing red. Do I die alive or dead? Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing. I'm seeing. One-man army under the gun. Locked and loaded. Here I come. Laying on your back. Always at the ready to attack. I'm seeing red. Do I die alive or dead? Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing red. Do I die alive or dead? Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing. I'm seeing. I'm seeing I'm seeing red. Do I die alive or dead? Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing red. Do I die alive or dead? Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing. I'm seeing. I'm seeing red. I'm seeing red. I'm seeing red.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Second Amendment Ranch tonight. How's everybody doing?
Oh,
How you
happy
doing,
Monday,
Mickey?
joy. Well,
Yeah.
I'm old, trying to get myself back in shape, because I'm egotistical and here's the thing: the stereotypical picture that your average. Okay, the term troglodyte, it means knuckle dragging cave dweller, and your average knuckle dragging cave dwelling gun control advocate thinks we're all fat asses who are not in good shape, and we would so I'm getting in shape, so possessing a firearm is only one aspect of my ability to defend myself. So I'm doing that to dispel that stupid myth that they want to propagate. So, but yeah, it ain't easy when you get old.
Oh, I know the feeling, what you mean and
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
Before long, they'll probably say I don't need a weapon and everything at 60 years of age, but I'm still out deer hunting. I still protect the house and everything, our church and everything like that,
Yep.
So for everybody listening tonight, Cameron won't be on here. if everybody's watched the news and the weather reports about Houston getting hit with snow, the ice, power outage down there. They've been out of power since last night, most of the time. So I just wonder how they're dealing with it down there. Not used to this cold, and a lot of them's got the electric furnaces and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're making preppers look like geniuses right now.
Yeah, they are. I bet. I bet they had a big sale on generators.
Amish were the original preppers, so yeah,
Yeah, but I bet they had a big sale on the generators down
Oh, you
there.
bet your ass they did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but tonight, let's see, Cameron was going to talk about the laws in Chicago. But since Cameron's not here tonight, I decided I'm going to read the new law that every state should adopt, but it's the new law for the state of Missouri.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
To quote Medea, hallelujah.
Right. And what I'll read here is SB 39, and the sponsor is Burleson. Okay. This was put in January 26th of 2021.
Okay, so
the current bill summary is SB 39. This act creates the Second Amendment Preservation Act and lists various declarations of the Missouri General Assembly regarding the United States Constitution and the scope of the federal government's authority. In addition, the act declares that the federal supremacy does not apply to federal laws that restrict or prohibit the manufacture, ownership, and the use of firearms, firearm accessories, or ammunition within the state. Because such laws exceed the scope of the federal government authority, laws necessary for the regulations of the land and the United States Armed Forces are excluded from the types of federal firearms that exceed federal authority. The act. Do what? Okay.
Preach on, brother.
Yeah. This act declares as invalid all federal laws that infringe on the right to bear arms under the Second Amendment to the U.S. Constitution and Article 1, Section 23 of the Missouri Constitution. Some laws declared invalid under this act include certain taxes, certain registration, tracking laws, certain prohibitions to the possession, ownership, and use and transfer of a specific type of firearm, and confiscation orders. You know, Missouri's got certain ones. If you're a felon, you can't own a weapon. You know, that's basically what that comes down to. The act declares that it is the duty of the courts and law enforcement agencies to protect the rights of law-abiding citizens to keep and bear arms. Under this act, no public officer or state or local employee has the authority to enforce firearm laws declared invalid by the act. Any public officer or state or local employee who tries to enforce the firearm laws declared invalid by the act, or any person who acts under the color of the law to deprive a Missouri citizen of rights or privileges ensured by the federal and state constitutions shall be liable for redress. In such an action, attorney fees and costs may be awarded, and official or qualified immunity shall be available to the defendant as a defense. Such officer or employee may also prohibit from serving as a law officer for the state or any political subdivision. That's our law in Missouri.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. So
preach it.
I know we won't go by any, and in the other ones there, it even reads further that if the feds come in and try to take your weapons, we can sue them.
You might as well call this we'll call this we'll call it the Marbury for Madison dummies Act. Because you're too stupid to read to properly comprehend Marbury v. Madison, we're dumbing it down for you.
Right.
We might as well call that act.
Well, Missouri's one of the first states they're in line doing this. More states are going to have to come up with this.
Well, they're going to do this to fight Biden because Biden is. Well, here's the thing. Biden is basically Kamala Harris with a penis, and when they invoke the 25th Amendment and yank his ass, she's going to take gun control to this horrifying draconian level. So I think they're prepping for that. I really think they're prepping for that. I think they're reading the tea leaves, and that's what they see. Not only that, but again, you have to be legally mentally retarded to not understand how Marbury v. Madison works. And most liberal troglodyte gun control advocates, they make the militia out to be this wholly separate thing that, you have to be They make it out to be where it's really hard to be a part of the militia. And what they're too stupid to realize is the founding fathers wanted every individual to bear arms because at any given moment, the Minuteman is the poster child for what the militia is. Any being can be a Minuteman at any moment's notice. Therefore, they need to have those arms to be proficient in for hunting, for self-defense, the whole nine. Okay, and that's what the fact that I had to explain that to these people who these are the people who are dumb enough to believe that education automatically equals increased intelligence when that's clearly not the case. That's what these retards don't get. These people seem to think that like the militia is space aliens and Sasquatches and just what AI or whatever. They don't realize the idea that the militia is any man who is able-bodied and able to perform basic functions in a combat environment.
Right. But, like in Missouri here, Missouri relies on a lot of the money due to the sale of firearms.
Mm-hmm.
The hunting here is one of the biggest money makers there is with the Department of Conservation.
Mm-hmm.
We have so many out-of-state hunters that come in here.
Yeah.
And big game hunting for whitetail deer is one of Missouri's biggest deals.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to take away the big rifles.
No.
I'm not saying going out with an AR with 20 rounds and go deer hunting. No, I'm not saying that. And everything.
That's for defense because these people are stupid enough to think that criminals are going to obey laws, and they also think it's okay to let criminals. I believe they think it's okay for criminals to kill citizens as long as they get to be in control and say, "Oh well, if they kill you, it's no big deal. We'll prosecute them." Really? So I have to be dead to be worth something to you? Really?
Right.
And here's where I get pissed. I've asked this question, and there's not been one gun control troglodyte mouth breather who can answer this question. I always say, where is the enlightened thinking in vilifying an inanimate object and demonizing those who don't? And here's the thing. If you vilify an inanimate object and demonize those who don't, you're too mentally defective and otherwise stupid to lecture me on my mental health and tell me that I have to have a psyche eval. You're the one who needs a psyche eval because you're clearly mentally defective and otherwise you're like basically a high functioning man child. You're too stupid to be speaking to me about mental health if you're stupid enough to do that.
Right.
So,
Well, it's like Richie says in here, not fully auto without training. And I agree with that. You're not going to have a 21-year-old that's never shot a weapon go out and buy a full automatic weapon and be able to go out and try to figure it out. No, they need training in that. We had all that training when we was in the military, and that's the type of training they should have. I agree totally with that.
I have no problem with training, but here's the thing. You have your initial training, and then you have ongoing annual training. And your average mouth-breathing gun-controlled troglodyte doesn't understand how that works. Therefore, if they don't appreciate that properly, they think that here's the thing: if you don't handle firearms, you have no business uttering the term common sense gun control, because you don't have a knowledge base to apply common sense if you don't handle firearms on a regular basis. So you should shut your cake hole.
Right. If they don't handle them, they would struggle with lever action. They would struggle with a bolt action.
Mm-hmm.
They would struggle with semi-automatic.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know your weapon. You
Oh,
have
yeah.
to know each and every one of them. You have to shoot them. Stay practiced with them.
Well, yeah.
And-
Trigger discipline, breath control. It's all muscle memory. If you don't use it, you lose it. So yeah, these people have no clue, and they're talking out of their ass. And I'm gonna get into this philosophically when you're ready, because I'm gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna say some very, very, very not nice things. I won't curse, but I will say some very, very not nice things.
Okay. Yeah. Richie says he'll be on here in a minute or so. So we'll get the pimp on here. But like I said, everybody just tuning in. Cameron won't be here tonight. They're without power in Houston. So his computer's down. We're just struggling along. So we was talking about the Missouri bill, the SB 39 that's been put in, that we're not going to back up any of the federal government's gun laws.
Mm-hmm.
Missouri won't back them up.
Oh, April asked what I'm eating. I'm diabetic, so I'm having my apple and peanut butter snack, because that's what I'm allowed to have to dietitians.
Right. But no, things are going crazy. And then I don't know. I've got to research some more. A little bit ago, I was on YouTube. I guess Biden put in his own gun bill.
Oh, yes, he did.
There. I didn't catch much of it. Okay, Richie, I'm going to put the link in the chat room. So if anybody wants to pop in tonight, that'd be great.
Welcome to the party. That's all I got to say.
That's what I say, too. I love interacting with our chat room.
Mm-hmm.
That's without the chat room, you don't have a show.
Right. And here's the thing. We need to have... Here's what's tripping me out the most about this whole thing. People who will... Here's my solution to the gun control issue. If you have voted for anything that violates Marbury v. Madison within regards to the Constitution, which is like 99% of the gun laws out there, and you're a congressman in any state, you are stripped of your security.
Hey, Goose, how you doing?
Well,
What's up,
I
Goose?
was going to ask in private chat if I could come on and talk with you guys for a minute.
Yeah, that's all right. No
I've got
problem
some
tonight.
things, but whenever you pop in on your phone, it just automatically throws you in the studio.
That's
Exactly.
all right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It does.
That's all right, Goose. We're just discussing a little bit, but you heard me read that SB 39 and everything.
Yes. And
More states have got to get on board.
Some people are taking this. Well, and some people are taking this SB 39, Senate Bill 39 in Missouri a little bit to the extreme, because they're talking about, now we'll be able to go out and buy basically whatever we want, bazookas, fully automatic, a Ma Deuce, whatever. And there is such thing as common sense gun control. What you hear from the White House is not common sense gun control. It's stupid. It's making law-abiding citizens criminals.
Right.
The thing is, with common sense gun control, for it to truly be common sense, okay, take the laws that we have in place and enforce them. There was, and I for some reason, I want to say it was frickin' the old crow herself that said, well, if we take the guns off the streets, the criminals won't get them. Well, if we take meth off the streets, the meth heads won't get it.
Then how's that been going?
Come on. Criminals by nature don't obey the law. So why are you enacting more laws to make those who are criminals? I mean, it's absolutely asinine. you know, I would love. Now, granted, I'm not a full auto guy. I don't see a purpose for it unless you're in combat.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe Civilian, Joe Farmer down the street from me or whatever doesn't need a fully automatic rifle of any sort. Semi-auto is more than effective in 9/10 of situations. Full auto, the only purpose for full auto really is suppression fire. And I'm sorry, there's no whitetail out there that I need to suppressive fire on.
No, I don't need to shoot a 40-round clip or a 100-round clip at a whitetail. If I do, I'm hanging it up.
Hold on a second. Here, full auto is not about hunting. It never will be about hunting. Yes, it is about suppression. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna just go over the end of the extreme a little bit. Historically speaking, we are long.
Stop eating on camera.
Sorry. Historically speaking, we are long overdue for a civil war. Okay. And again, we do have criminals who do not like to obey laws. They don't like to obey laws. They just flat out don't obey them. And ideally, we shouldn't need fully automatic. But the world, combat teaches you one thing: life is far from ideal in insane situations. Okay, do I want with fully automatic weapons? No. Do I want to?
Well,
do I want to suppress an intelligent individual's right to have automatic weapons? No. We got to have a conversation where we discuss scenarios intelligently and not go off the deep end.
The problem is a lot of people don't understand Murphy's laws of combat.
Well, we need an episode on Murphy's laws of combat then. We might need to make it a multi-episode thing.
Oh yeah, but I mean, here's the thing: you're looking at situations in a perfect, and that's the problem. People are looking at situations in a perfect world situation rather than.
Well, we need to help them pull their head out of their ass to see that shit work.
Combat. Well, hold on. Murphy's first rule of combat is everything until first contact. Once you hit that first contact, everything goes out the window.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Joe Farmer, who lives a mile down the road from me, excuse me, that, you know, this guy, I don't know this happened.
right.
I know that when it comes down to it, he doesn't have any military training.
But I still believe in Missouri, to purchase a fully automatic weapon, you had to have a special license.
Yeah, an FFL.
Oh, here's the other thing.
There's nothing really wrong as long as they go the legal way to get, you know.
Yeah.
If I had a machine gun sitting here that shot, you know, as many rounds as I wanted it to at any given time, it would be there, protection from the house, but protection in case shit hit the fan. I'm not going to use it for hunting. I'm not going to, I'll take it out in target practice with it.
Yeah.
But other than that, no. But I see what you're saying. You're wanting to know if your neighbor has one a half mile up the road.
Well, here's what I would say. I think we also need to have an episode on the kind of weapons they had back in the time when the framers made these laws. Okay. And I say that because they probably had stuff. The founders probably had kind of weapons in the day that caused your average probably to have a stroke. Okay.
Right.
They really would. These people, here's the thing. Let me know when you're ready. I'm going to speak on these gun control trucks, these knuckle draggers, these mouth breathers. I'm going to speak to, because here's the thing. The problem with the gun control debate is we have debates about statistics involving gun violence, okay? Now this right here, this is a scan tool. When you plug in a scan tool, you get a myriad of readings as far as voltage drop. You know, like you got different components and what their voltage readings are should be in whatever range. Your average gun control troglodyte likes to just like we have 371 million guns in this country. Okay, great.
Okay. Let's let the pimp just joined us. How you doing, pimp?
How you doing, guys? Appreciate having on. I won't be on very long. Taking
That's
most
all
of
right.
us time. Me and Justin Snodgrass, man, we're like brothers. We agree on a lot of things, but we also disagree on a few things. Here's and Justin, I knows how I feel. I think if you're well, first of all, if you're not a felon, okay, I think if you can afford to buy it, you should be able to own it.
Mm-hmm.
I do, however, agree with Justin. I don't want, Joe Schmuckatelli down here who can't hold his dingling when he pees. All right, running a gun. He should be trained with it.
Mm-hmm.
I also think we should have. I think we should have age brackets on your gun. I don't think my 5-year-old grandson right here, should be handling a semi-automatic weapon. He doesn't need to.
No.
He doesn't need to be handling Papa's 45.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you're not a felon, you should do it. The problem I have with the training thing is this. Justin and I right now, all four of us on camera right now could pick up any automatic weapon, and we know how to fire it.
Right.
Okay? Because we're veterans. Obviously, if we don't know how to fire it, we got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
There's some civilians who are trained just as good as we are. Who's to dictate what the training is? Do we have some civilian some president or some congressman who don't know how to shoot a gun tell me how to be trained? Or should we have a panel of veterans who have been there to put forth a criteria, put forth a criteria of how we should be trained? That'd be my question in all this gun law. I mean, that's my position.
And my question, and I agree with you that you look back, who's had more training with fully automatic weapons, civilian, police, or veterans? Veterans. There ought to be, if they ever develop a training course, it should be close to what the military trained us on.
Mm-hmm. Here's the other thing.
Safety.
Here's what I'm going to say. I agree with you guys. It's very sensible because it's coming from us because we actually have a knowledge and understanding. The problem with the gun control troglodyte politician, they're going to find the expert who's going to make sure that that politician's opinion is going to come out of the expert's mouth in the most sounding way possible. These people actually care about safety. They care about control.
You were right. Here's another thing too. When they put out this legislation of what we can own, what we can't own, they start getting into triggers. They start getting into butt stops. They start dancing around the problem instead of dancing around the real problem. Some people just don't need to have guns. Period. In the story. Now, a lot of veterans who have mental issues don't take the guns away for mental issues. Take the guns away for some of their mental actions they do. Okay, not all bipolar people are dangerous. They're freaking annoying, but they're not all dangerous.
Yes.
Not all people post PTSD are dangerous. Okay. And statistics actually show veterans, the veteran population ain't the one that are shooting people up. That's not the mental issues that are shooting people up. It's these kids who got their lunch money taken or want to steal daddy and mommy's guns, who lay out in front of traffic, who vote for Biden twice. Those are the ones who have the mental issues. And those ones should be having guns.
Exactly.
Okay, here's the question. We've heard the term weapons of war thrown around by Team Gun Control Truck. Okay. Now, from what I understand, a weapon of war is something you can kill somebody with, right?
Yeah.
No. It's the definition of whatever you use on the battlefield.
Right.
So whatever you
use on the battlefield,
with, right?
Anything that's available out there that was used in a combat situation.
Here we go. I'm gonna deal with this right now. I had in my first Marine Corps, my first battalion sergeant major. He was second Anglico. He was recon Anglico. In one military engagement with the VC, He killed 24 BC with an E tool with a fold up shovel. Okay, literally. There's a couple of humans I talk smack to. Jesus Christ and Sergeant and my first battalion Sergeant Major. You don't mess with a man who can kill 24 BC with a shovel. So, if by that standard, this is a camping spoon. I can sharpen this edge up and I can stab somebody in the damn neck with it. It's a weapon of war. So these terms.
Hold on.
I understand what you're saying. Mickey. But like, okay, weapon of war, like owner grenades. And Goose will tell you this. How do you feel about a standard civilian owning a grenade?
No.
What do we need a grenade for?
We don't.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna go back to my standard answer. We historically
we got tannerite
war. So, and again, Murphy's Law. I mean, you can just about if you can kill somebody with it, it's a weapon of war. Let's be real.
Okay. If you open that Pandora's box, Mickey, and I'm glad you're on here tonight, brother. If you open that Pandora's box, Justin and I both have a martial arts background.
Mm-hmm.
Justin and I are both MMA fighters. Okay. If you walk into a building that says no weapons allowed, am I supposed to stand outside? Am I supposed to stand outside? We need to have a discussion of what weapons are actually bad. Listen, having a file down trigger to shoot competition shots is not bad. Having a scope that you can see a hair on a gnat's ass ain't bad. Having none of those things are bad. If I can shoot many rounds, that's fun. So what? What exactly though is bad? What exactly is scaring people? It's because it says AR on it. AR don't mean assault rifle. It means arms corps. It's the people who made the damn rifle to begin with.
Right.
Armalite rifle.
Armalite, yeah. Armalite, arms corps. Depend. My dad, good friends with Goose and Carl, he's a gunsmith. He built his own 6.65 Creedmoor. He built his own gun. He gets a list of restrictions every year of things he can put on a gun, things he can't being a gunsmith, and the damn book just keeps growing and growing. And none of that stops me from killing people.
Right.
The weapon has killed more people since the dawn of time than a gun. A knife.
Yeah.
A knife a knife. So we're gonna take all the knives out of everybody's kitchen?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. My point was just made. Any weapon that you can kill somebody with. If you can kill somebody.
Hold on. Let me
okay.
Real quick.
Let Goose talk here.
Go for it.
Goose.
Okay, I'm going to show you 4 different items. Okay. Now,
hey, Carl, I can't hear him.
You can't hear Goose?
No, barely.
I'm going to show 4 different items real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
Carl, do me a favor.
Uh-huh.
And I want you to look up the number of deaths attributed to these items.
Okay.
Give me a second here. Let me bring it up. Okay, what is it?
Number 1, screwdriver.
Okay, let me type this in. Death.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna wager probably 100,000 over the since screwdrivers were invented.
They'll probably go here. But yeah.
Well, let's see. Okay. Let's see what this one says.
See, here's the thing, and this is the point that I'm going to get across with this. Here's the second item.
You can kill somebody with that.
It's a fork.
There's many ways to look at that too, brother. Yeah, yeah. Direct stabbing in the neck, diabetes. Yeah. What is that? Oh, hammer. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Anything like he's showing there. It doesn't say here exactly how many
Tonto
deaths are attributed to a screwdriver.
machete.
The number of here's the thing, and I was gonna actually go show my car, but it's too damn cold outside.
Ain't no lie.
So here's the thing. What do all 4 of those items have in common? Okay, and I know all 3 of you know this. They're all tools, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They
Utensils.
have a
So is a
specific
gun.
job that they are used for. What is a gun?
So is a gun. Tool.
The tool.
It's a tool.
Well,
Whether
It's
an
like we
object-
always say, guns don't kill.
well, if you want to get really technical, the three items you pulled out were melee weapons. The only difference between that and gun is a range weapon.
Okay, I'll go outside and grab my bow. I mean,
Well,
it's
and just like we're talking about weapons of wartime, right? I was in a different military time frame than any of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You guys were real close in your time frame, right?
well, yeah, but you're a War of 1812 veteran, so
Yeah,
they
I
had
know that.
muskets, but whatever.
But no, in basic training, a 9/11 45, we were trained on, right?
Wow.
An assault
Which I
shotgun,
now own.
an assault shotgun, we were
Mhm.
trained on.
Mm-hmm.
One of the very first AR-15s, which was an M16, and it still said Colt on it, and Mattel.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old toy rifle. I want
Right.
it so bad. If I could find
Cold
And
rock.
the
AR.
an M60 fully automatic machine gun, belt driven. Right,
M60 ACO 3.
right. And then a 50 cal that was mounted on an APC,
Oh, nice.
fully automatic. That
Here's
was
another
the
question.
weapons in my time frame we were trained on.
Could you kill somebody with this?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you eat
So-
a little gummy nitro, it feels like you're dying from that anyway.
Could be considered a
That's
weapon
a
of war.
good one.
So this argument, and I actually, and Richie knows her, my therapist that got hit by a bus. I changed her point of view on guns because of that.
Yep.
I told
Yep.
her, I explained to her that a gun is no more dangerous than a knife, a hammer, a fork, a screwdriver, a car, a blowtorch. They're all tools to get a job done. And so these people that say, oh, guns kill people, well, no.
In the
Gun
wrong
is an
hands.
inanimate object. To say a rifle is an assault rifle, that is actually taking a descriptive word and turning it into a verb.
Yeah.
The only reason it's an assault rifle is because the military or the law enforcement use it as a weapon to assault a building, which is a verb. You can't use a verb as a adjective.
Correct.
That's
Mm.
common English.
Right. Now I got a question for all you guys.
Mm-hmm.
April put it in there, but I was going to ask it later, right? Part of this bill Biden put in this HR 127 right now is going to hold the gun makers accountable for crimes committed with them.
It's
What's
called
your
they're trying
opinion?
to break the firearms industry.
Yeah,
I
but if we
think-
do
Okay, so
that,
let's
are you
hold
going to put
Jack
a law in that we got to sue the car
I think that-
manufacturers?
I think that's very stupid. I think it's dangerous to walk down this path and do that. Okay, that'd be like charging Anheuser-Busch for me losing a kidney from alcoholism.
Right.
It'd be like suing the Ford company for giving me diabetes because my fat ass eats too much. Okay, it makes no sense. No,
Combat
it
assault.
does up.
Or suing Ford or General Motors because I hit a tree with the car.
And
Banned by
your wife
combat
died.
assault camping
know?
Yeah.
soon, bro.
No, it's a dangerous slope that this new. I think Justin called it the cancel culture. This cancel culture we got in America, it's going to try to derail us. We need sensible people to keep it back on thing. Gun makers should be held accountable because in the end,
No.
because I'm going to tell you a story before I get off here. I was 17 years old. A conservation came in. He loaded his gun. It was a semi. Loaded it. He set it on the table. He walked around the whole class, taught his whole class. He come back and said, how many of y'all here think guns kill people? Half the class raised their hand. He goes, boys, this gun's loaded, lay here the whole time. That gun never did nothing. It ain't the gun. He said, if I pull the trigger, it's me. It ain't the damn gun. Okay.
Exactly.
And I was 17 years old and learned that piece of advice then. I need to tell everybody that piece of advice now. It ain't the gun. You know how many times Jeff Onyx has did a show on stage with his gun and no one knew he had a gun on him?
Right.
Nobody knew it.
But Jeff's a
Nobody
girl.
knew it. Well, Jeff is a girl. That's why he carries a gun. I mean, Justice carried guns. You don't know about it. My dad,
Right.
who we all know and love, has got a gun with him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Not
gonna
one
say,
time
if
accident.
he ain't packing,
And
something's wrong.
there's nothing wrong with that
No.
because nowadays you never know what's going to happen.
Mhm.
No, and April, tell April I'm gonna give her I'll give her 10 inches in the mystery box for that question. That's a beautiful question because
Yeah.
April needs to ask that to our state and local government.
Right.
Should we hold Trojan Condom accountable for your mistress getting pregnant because they broke?
Yeah.
No.
How about all the
Exactly.
STDs?
All they're doing is creating a worse deal for everybody to get Sue happy. Is
Yeah,
what they're going to
I
end
mean,
up doing.
You know, come on, guys. You
They're
talk about sensible gun control. We need sensible people.
they
I get
are
fired.
trying.
I get fired up. I love guns. I get fired up over them. It's one of our rights that we need to really hold on to. We really
Right.
do.
And
Here,
at least
I got a lot of Amish friends. And
our
and Justin,
representatives here in the state of Missouri, at least they're
Yes.
agreeing with us. We have to
Yes.
give them credit for that. You know.
yeah,
I don't
Justin and I
give
have a
it
lot of
credit.
Amish friends. And Carl, you got Amish friends. Justin and I both have Amish friends. They don't believe in killing another human being.
No.
They absolutely don't believe it. They love guns, but they won't kill nobody.
Right.
So I had a conversation with one of them one night. I said, "Let me ask you a question, brother." He said, "Yeah." I said, "You won't kill nobody." He goes, "Nope, won't do it." I said, "If they're beating your ass," he goes, "Nope, won't do it." I said, "What if they break in your house, rape your wife, and try to kill you?" And he looked at me and he said, "Well, you know what? I guess I would kill him, wouldn't I?"
Mm-hmm.
I said, "That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's right or if he's wrong. I'm just saying, don't say you'll never use a gun to kill somebody with, because you're full of
No.
crap."
Mm-hmm. To me, the bottom line, they want to break the industry. They want to destroy the firearms industry and disarm us. That's what they want. Anything
Yeah.
else, they realize they're lying out of their asses. Period.
Now, do I think that's going to happen? No, and I'll tell you why. Whether you're a Republican or whether you're a Democrat, Democrats own guns too. Democrats shoot also.
Right.
So I don't think that Mr. President Biden's bill is going to go anywhere because I don't think he's going to get enough support. I really don't. Could be
No.
wrong. Maybe I missed my guess. But too many people up own guns to give them all the way up total. Too many people own guns to be putting 50% tax on bullets, which is what I heard lately. 50% tax on ammo. Okay, I don't think so. I think they'll do some kind of a little Mickey Mouse shit. Excuse my language, Mickey Mouse crap. But I'm not. I don't know. Justin, what do you think? I just don't know.
Here's the thing. They want to disarm the population. I'm going to mention 3 names in rapid succession here real quick, and I'll
Okay.
prove a point. Mussolini, Stalin, Hitler.
Yep.
I'll even go as
Yep.
far as to add Castro.
Right.
What do they all have in common? They were dictators.
Nope.
They
Yep.
ran dictatorial countries.
Yep. That's right. That's
Uh,
right. They did.
You
They
know,
did.
so you're the only reason, and it says it in our Constitution and in our Declaration, that tyrants will do that.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
in order for them to get their way and be able to rule the way they want to, the people will not be able to rise up against them.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what
Hell, let's go
that's
to the
what the
bottom
government
and-
now is afraid that the people will arise against them. That's why
You-
they're trying
you're
to
right,
take everything
Justin.
away.
You're right, Justin.
Well, here's the other
And-
side of
but
it.
here's my counter to that. Back in that day, everybody was afraid of those people. You take not every American is afraid of our government, and our government knows that. Even if they legally disarm us, I'm going to tell you right now, there's rednecks out here, there's good-hearted patriots out here who are going to have some type of gun. They don't know how many guns we got. They just don't know. And you and I both talked to different sheriffs. Sheriffs don't want to come to our door and take our gun. The sheriffs don't want a gunfight. They don't want to
No.
die.
They're going to
don't-
stand with us.
Well, here's the thing. If you want a more recent example, Venezuela under Chavez and Maduro right now.
Yeah.
That was only like
Yeah.
10, 15 years ago that they disarmed them. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's
Yeah,
here's
I mean-
a question, and I'm
You're
gonna end it with this, and I'll jump off. But here's a question: who caused or allowed the current state of gun laws in our country?
We the
Who
people.
allowed it to happen?
We did.
We the people.
We the people. The only way that it's actually going to change back is if
Yeah,
we the people actually do something. Now, I'm not saying that we need to, have a revolution or whatever. If that's what it takes,
No.
then that's what it takes. It's time for
Right.
patriots to go do patriot shit. But
Right.
the
Right.
only way that we, the people, are going to be able to fix what's happening right now in our country is if we, the people, stand up for our rights.
Right.
You're right. You're right.
All right. Much
right.
love, guys. I'm out.
Okay, Goose. Take care,
There
buddy.
it goes.
Later, brother.
Yeah, Goose has got a good point there in everything.
He does.
We're responsible for what the gun laws are now. We voted them people in.
Yeah,
Well,
we did.
dead people.
And here's something else we do. We let people from other states dictate to our state what's going to happen. Okay? Take California, for example. You
Oh,
go
yeah.
buy a gas jug. It has to meet California restrictions. I could give two shits about California restrictions.
I
Right?
care
I live in the
less.
state of Missouri. I care less about Nancy Pelosi and her crap. I can't vote her in, so we're stuck with her, right? Because I don't have a vote for her ass.
Right.
So if guns come out of California, for example, they put all these restrictions on California guns, they got to pass that cost onto us. And how are we going to buy guns at the rate? I think we need to, if in the state of Missouri, we got a lot of different gun laws, and we make guns here in Missouri. I think we need to make our own guns and send it to our own people and keep the tax down on these low. But he is so right. I mean, he's so
You're
right.
exactly right.
We the people.
State laws that are directed at California, that were the state. We say directly to the state of California, you are not the federal government. You don't rule this country. Your laws are outside of your state. You can go fuck yourself.
The biggest problem, Mickey, and I 100% agree. The biggest problem is New York and California have been running the United States for the longest time, and now all of a sudden Texas and Florida are tired of it. Now that Texas and Florida have finally, especially Florida, now that Florida's got some balls, they say, "Look, you run I'll run my state." Now you're seeing the power shift. Okay, because California, New York won. That's why they don't want electoral college, because it's up to California and New York, we'd have every single president they wanted, right? But now it's starting to shift a little bit. Let me ask you before I get off here. If your state, Mickey, if your state and Carl, our state, decided to break off and become, like they did back in the 1800s, branch off and roll into part of the United States, would you go? If Missouri and North Carolina succeeded, would you agree or disagree? Right now with the state of affairs right now.
At this point, I'd almost
I would agree.
The federal government is so damn out of control because we have it thoroughly run by progressives or like fascists. With the aid of New York and California, I have no problem with it because it's the only way we're going to be able to reassert our own rights and deny them some revenue and hit them where it really hurts.
Right.
I'm at that point
I
where
agree with
have
both of
no
you.
problem.
I think if Texas did it, we should follow along with Texas. And I guarantee you, then let's see if California, because California, big as it is, can't self-sustain because nobody,
hell no.
they can't even figure out if they want to be one state or three states. That's how dumb California is. New York can't sustain. So if Texas goes, I think, and if Florida, Florida's going to go with Texas, right? So if they go, I think if we go with them, I think that'll put a big shakeup because they don't want that because they can't self-sustain themselves. All their big ideas, all their crap they do, they couldn't sustain themselves.
Exactly.
Oh no.
Well, Carl, I appreciate you having me on, brother. I'm gonna get off here. Let you and Mickey handle it. Handle it.
Before you go
ahead.
Tell everybody about our show tomorrow night. Who's going to be on there?
Oh yeah, we got a guy coming on tomorrow night. He's his name's Alexander. He's marching 2,200 miles through the Appalachian Mountains, and he's going to wind up in North Carolina tomorrow. This guy is walking for PTSD. All right, 2,200 miles is a long damn way, especially going through the mountains. And this time of year,
Yeah.
it's cold all over.
Hey,
all right, we got
I need to
power
I need to
outages.
get on there so I can talk with him real quick, so I can make arrangements to see if I can find a way to meet up with him and get a little bit of grub.
Well, we'll get all that information calling up with him tomorrow before we start the show. But he's going to be on there. We're going to talk about if he needs shoes. I mean, what he's going to need to help himself out. Any money he's going to collect. Carl will be glad to put that out there for everybody tomorrow.
Right.
Any money he needs to collect. Guys, I don't know much about him. All I know is if you're going to walk 2,200 miles and you're going to go through the mountains, I'm going to reach in my pocket and I'm going to help you out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's for our brothers and sisters with PTSD. Carl deals with it every day. I deal with PTSD. I got PTSD. I know what it's like. Our comedy shows, that's what we do them for. It's to have these conversations like the four of us had tonight wouldn't be possible if we didn't have people helping with PTSD. Some of us can't hold a train of thought. It's amazing. I can even tell jokes on stage. Really, my mind wanders so damn much. It's hard. Mickey, I know your mind wanders much. Carl, your mind wanders. It's a really legit thing, and it's hard. And so tomorrow, we're going to be on at 5 o'clock. He's going to be on with us. I think he's going to stay the whole 2 hours tomorrow. Don't miss out, guys. Tune in. Any questions you guys want to ask this guy, whatever, just come in the chat, type in the questions between Carl and I. We'll get you on tomorrow. It's going to be calling on tomorrow. Right. Justin's not going to be there tomorrow. So Carl's got double duty. He's going to be on camera and producing tomorrow night. So that'd be awesome. And we did it before.
Hey,
Carl.
we've done it. We can do it all the time. Hey, we can do it. And I'm going to bring my new camera down.
Oh, you don't want to see all this on camera. You don't want to see this clarity on camera.
Hey, you got to see this.
Yeah, not sure.
I wear it proud.
One more thing before I'm out of here, guys. It's coming February 27th at BB's Down Home Cooking in Gallatin, Missouri, 200 Park Street, Gallatin, Missouri. Doubleheader show. Family friendly at 7. Adult show at 9. We have our great funny friend, David Scott, the king of clean comedy. Richard Montano. If you've never heard this guy perform, you're missing out. Our awesome buddy Taifu Panda, another great comedian, outstanding comedian. I'm gonna be headline tomorrow. I'm gonna do some impressions. You're gonna hear me. I got 3 brand new jokes I'm gonna debut tomorrow. For that. The doors open at 6. Be ready to laugh, guys. I'm Redneck Pimp, Carl, Mickey. Thank you all, guys. I'm gonna get off here and watch the rest of your show. Okay. Dog ahoy.
See you tomorrow night.
I don't.
Yeah, everybody that was Redneck Pimp joining this. Yeah. But yeah, they had some good points on there and everything. I mean, just like both of them said, I don't want my neighbor here next door that drinks 2 cases of beer a night having a fully automatic weapon. I really don't. But if I knew he had the training through a veteran, I might think different.
You know what I'd say? This could be a good thing in a manner of speaking. Knowing that he drinks, okay. We need it. This may inspire some togetherness to where we're interacting again, because we don't interact. I mean, interacting this way is kind of good. It is good, but we interact so interpersonally, so little that we're losing that skill too. So maybe saying, "Hey, how you doing, man? You want to grab some dinner?" I mean, that neighborly love will help us, get to know each other better and get better intel, and maybe that person that's drinking 2 damn cases of beer a day might feel a little better, might drink a little less if he's got somebody to talk to. He doesn't feel so lonely and disillusioned and isolated. I mean, we need that human connection again, where we're talking to each other and not assuming anything about each other and asking questions in a careful and tactful and genuinely caring way. Maybe that needs to make a comeback.
Yeah, true. It really does.
Because
Uh,
that's the thing. We assume it's in our nature, tactically speaking, to assume the worst of each other. It's part of our. It's an ingrained part of our threat assessment, and that's we just have to recognize it and figure out how to properly apply that. You know what I mean? Okay. So yeah, maybe just maybe having a conversation on guns and the human nature involved will get us really talking to each other again. Okay. Maybe that could be a good thing.
hello to what's the heck, Mech? Yeah.
What the schmeck? I think. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks for joining us on Twitch. Yeah, cool. Let us know where you're from. We try to find out where our chat people are located. That way we cover, and telling April and Richard both, I'll get a hold of Cameron, and we will get Idaho's gun laws on the list of what to look for, and
there you go.
Do it on probably not the next show, but the show after that.
The other thing we need to do, we need to get the topic of weapon war, what it actually is, on a discussion. We also need to literally, I'm not joking, if we as veterans are gonna introduce civilians to our minds, we need literally, we could have a multi-episode thing as far as Murphy's Law of combat operations. We really could. And we could.
Oh, we could.
They need to understand our thought process based on the insanity that is war, because war is the ultimate assault on idealistic thinking. It's the opposite of ideal. And we need to introduce them to that thought process so they can at least understand. If they're going to disagree with us, they might as well at least understand where we're coming from based on our truth.
Yeah. Let's see here what I'm doing. Trying to get everything running on this one. But like we was talking about earlier with Richie and Justin on here, folks, I'm gonna share application. There it is. Okay, let's go back here and bring that up. Anyway, here you can check out all the shows on WO Entertainment through the week. On Mondays, you got the Second Amendment Ranch, what you're watching right now. On Tuesday nights, you got the WO Radio Show with the Redneck Pimp and Goose. On Wednesday nights, we got the Blue Phoenix Gaming with Jennifer, and it started last week and everything. Thursday night, we have Mickey Show. And you're going to have to say that name again. I'll never get it right.
The Harambe Keeper, and it's a long story. Days, but the next episode I'll explain it as best I can. And we're gonna rotate some of the Second Amendment stuff onto the Harambe Keeper to kind of keep discussions fresh. And we'll do the benefits of breath control, sight alignment, sight picture. Why we as veterans consider that to be kind of a therapeutic, because it gets us into the zone where we're relaxed and we can focus on something to focus on. So I'll touch on that, and then we can bounce that topic from my show back to this show, and we can just have a lot of fun bouncing everything around to get a maximum amount of exposure and discussion.
Right. And then also on Thursdays, Mickey's show is at 6 p.m. Central Time.
7 Eastern.
Yeah. Thursdays at 2 o'clock Central Time is Cars and Coronas with Gapplebees. Gapplebees. He covers a lot of the new cars out and sports cars, race cars, and things like that.
I'm gonna try to get him into doing rest. I'm gonna try to get him to talk about resto mods, and I'm gonna use my Jeep guinea pig. So yeah, that'll be fun too. Expensive.
And then Friday night we have the happy hour with William on there. Saturday we have hot boxing with Matt. Everything you want to know about barbecue, and that's at 7 p.m. Central. Then Sundays at 5 p.m. You got it somewhere. It's 1700 somewhere with Athen, Cameron, Shay, and Nico. Whoever joins in, Mickey's in there once in a while too.
I'm getting
And
more
then,
regular. I need to get my nerd skills back up and running, so yeah.
and then Sunday nights at 11 o'clock Central Time, the Allied Trained Fighters with Athen, Dawn, and Nico. Ale. Okay, Ale Trained Fighters.
That's like peak nerd speak right there.
Yeah. You guys do all that gaming. I'm too old for that.
Well, I'm doing it simply because my technology quotient is that boiled cabbage, and I need to get that back. You know, it was my technological illiteracy that got me in trouble in what's referred to as the New Jersey incident, where I discovered that I'm diabetic after coming out of a 2-day coma. So I'm doing these shows to embrace technology because I don't want to turn into that curmudgeon. You know what I'm saying? I'm not picking on you now. I'm not picking on you.
Right.
Saying I actually was in a coma because of my technological stupidity. So it's like, that was my wake up call. So yeah.
Right. In April, my paranormal show. I'm trying to figure out what time schedule to get it scheduled in. It'll start being this next week. I'll put some things out on it.
Richard, you mean Harambe the gorilla? Yes, the Harambe, the now dead gorilla. God rest his soul.
Oh, okay.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to try to get Elon Musk, see if I can use his song. There's Elon Musk actually wrote us. Go on YouTube, Harambe R.I.P. He actually wrote a eulogy song for Harambe. It's vintage Elon. We'll just leave it at that. Right. Yeah.
So, but yeah, everybody, I don't know, like again said, Cameron's without power, so his computer's down.
Yep.
And that's unusual for Cameron. But they have no power down in the Houston area for millions of people right now. It's pretty bad down there. But I'm personally, I would take their weather. They can have mine.
Yeah.
I mean, they're sitting down there at about 18 degrees. We're sitting up here at -4 with 30 below zero wind chills. I would switch in a heartbeat.
Here's the thing. Because where I live, we have a significant copperhead snake population. So the longer it's cold, the longer the copperheads stay asleep. Because I hate to say it, but I might have to cook because honestly, I might end up killing me a copperhead. If I killed a baby with a weed whacker. But if I kill an adult, we're having an episode on how to properly marinate and cook copperhead snake. I'm not dude. Let me put it this way. I bought this machine primarily for copperheads as opposed to home intruders. I because of my father and the story of George, I'll tell again some other time. I don't like snakes, so
I don't either.
Yeah, if the cookbook gets released like later this year, and you see wait a minute, what is this with copperhead snakes? Okay, now we get it. So yeah, there you go.
Well, if it's anything like a diamondback rattlesnake up here, it'll taste real good.
Well, hey, I'll let you know. I'll definitely let you know.
I've ate rattlesnake up here years ago, and oh man, it's fantastic. Deep fry it, it's awesome.
Well, here's the thing. I live in North Carolina, so it's going to be highly for me to smoke it. And because I lived here in North Carolina for 5 years, and I haven't smoked anything. I'm the devil incarnate for not ever having smoked anything. So I have, we'll do it at that.
Yeah, you can walk outside your house or apartment and smell barbecue most of the time.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
That's right, Richard. Snakes can be pretty tasty. Well, look at what they're doing down there in Florida right now with the, what is it? The big snake.
Oh, they're on the menu now.
Yeah, they're talking about eating them. Yeah, Ricky, timber rattlesnake is good. Exactly.
April, I'm just outside Charlotte. So yeah, I'm a little bit north of Charlotte. So
Oh, really? You're north of Charlotte.
yeah,
You're north of NASCAR.
I'm not too far about. Yeah, I'm a couple hours from Dale Earnhardt's place. I'm about an hour or two from Dale Earnhardt's place over in Asheville.
Right.
No, I was.
Around Charlotte, there's a lot of the racing teams around Charlotte
Oh
area.
yeah. It's down near there.
Right.
Yeah,
Python is what we was thinking of.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you see the race Sunday?
No. Oh no, I didn't see that.
Man, 3 laps in, they had a 16-car pileup.
Well, that's NASCAR for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And then rain. They finally ran it later on. Had a couple of little bitty wrecks. And then coming down to the finish line, they had a big fiery crash.
Oh yeah.
And everything. Nobody injured, but it was Daytona at its best, is what you can figure
yeah,
on
it's
that.
Daytona. It's not Daytona. It's not Daytona or Talladega without a wreck.
Talladega, you always wait for the big one. And the big one has to be more than 12 cars. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, April lived in Hendersonville, Salisbury, Rowan.
Yeah, I know
County.
exactly where that is. Yeah. So yeah,
I've drove down through there several times over road in beautiful country.
Oh yeah, it is. It's
country.
great. I got a neighbor. The problem with my neighbor is it used to be cows would like. I did more. I had to be more vigilant in keeping the cows from escaping than I did any damn detainee I guarded in Baghdad in 07 because those little. Yeah, right now he's got a bull that I'm about to take my 70-pound kettlebell and adjust his attitude because he's still in his teenage phase, but he's 1,700 damn pounds. So a big, grumpy, hormonal teenager. I'm about to adjust his attitude. So
yeah. Chimney Rock, Bat Cave area.
I've heard of that, but yeah, I definitely know Salisbury, Hendersonville, and Kannapolis. I got a couple buddies who work in Kannapolis. So yeah.
But yeah. Let's see what else is going on with Second Amendment Ranch. The website is just about complete. Hopefully I get it all set up this week with all our merch on there.
There you go.
We're getting some more designs made for our shirts and stuff. So that's all going to be coming up in hopefully this next week. Since I'm home more, and especially since it's cold, I'm in the house. You know, trying to stay warm.
I'm at the point where I've got one space heater in my room and I keep on, and I got one space heater in the kitchen, and I move the space heater from the kitchen to the bathroom just with turning on my. It took me a while. I had to run a while to get everything the AC circulating, but I'm gonna turn it on tonight for about an hour just because I don't want it running down again. But yeah, it's reasonably cold here, and again, one snowflake and everybody and their mother gets all the milk, bread, and eggs. Okay, none found at all.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'll see if I can pull something up here real quick and show everybody.
I'll tell you a story about something I saw. I was at a gas station one night, and as I saw this was the most redneck damn thing I've ever seen in my life. Your average gun control troglodyte knuckle dragger would have had a field day with it. You got your CB radio, that little clasp on the back. He had the clasp on the holster, and he had the other part of the clasp on his pants, and it was just hanging down. And I walk by, I look at him out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, oh, come on, dude. Really, Billy the Kid, really Doc Holliday, you wanna roll up like that? I mean, this is some the redneckery was just peak. Like, dude, come on, you're making this look bad.
Right.
And it was a legit old as dirt revolver. I'm like, No, come on, you're killing me, man. You are killing me.
Well, that's just like, back in the early 90s, I was driving over the road and I was up by Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and pulled into a truck stop, right? It's bright and early, so I'm going to go in, fill my thermoses up, get breakfast, and get back after it, right? I go sit down at the counter, put my thermoses up there. These two guys come in, and I mean, they're cowboyed out. Cowboy hat, vest,
Yeah.
everything on, right? And they sit down beside me on each side and everything. And they look like your old Western cowboys. I mean, old, just wore out guys, right? And I'm sitting there and got my coffee, and I kind of look over at both of them, and I went, oh, shit. They're both packing 45s on each hip.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I'm like, okay, what the hell? And they go, oh, it's legal up here. Everybody walks in with their guns on their hips. And I went, okay, no such thing as conceal and carry. And they said, no, they just carry it outright. They have the right to carry it. And I was like, no, I like that idea.
Well, as they always say, society is an armed society, I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but there's an old saying: the civilized man is always more discourteous than the savage, because the civilized person has no concept of the kind of consequences that the savage. I mean, he has no fear of getting his skull split on general principle. And I'm not going to advocate for that kind of violence, but there is a valid point in the fact that this courteous man. Stupidity is not as anywhere near as painful as it used to be, and it needs to be pain. Some people kind of need to get their attitude adjusted in that old school way, to where they're like, okay,
Chris, mine. Switch to his laptop so he can chat.
All right, cool.
Never worn it on my hip. Well, that's a question. I'm gonna put it out to you, Mickey. Which would you rather see in our society now? People walking down the street with their gun in their holster on their hip, or conceal and carry?
It's always good to, life is about balance. It's good to have a mix of both. Me personally, you wouldn't catch me dead doing appendix carry, because it's like, Mr. Penis would be like, no, you're going to watch where you're pointing that damn thing. No, awareness, ass, put it on your hip. So you'll never catch me dead doing appendix carry, but it's all about the individual. It's all about the individual. It's all about the environment. It's all about situational awareness. So I'm cool with either one, just depending on the locale, depending on the person, depending on.
Yeah, but if we were able to do it across the United States anywhere, what I'm getting at, which would cause more problems? Would you have more people shooting at each other by carrying it on their hips, or conceal and carry?
You would think open carry, simply because somebody would stroke out over a threat. You would think, yes. However, sometimes you got people. The problem is, we live cancel culture. These people get off on being offended. You have people in this life that are going to live offended. They get off on it. They think it's a source of power. So it almost doesn't matter, because there are people that just live to be offended. So, right. I mean, as long as you got people that could say, oh, I don't know, so I'm just going to assume. You see what I'm saying? Versus the guy that actually has it. Oh, okay, there it is.
It's visible. It's a visible threat.
Murphy's Law of Combat Operations. Given enough information, a board of inquiry can prove anything. If you they're carrying, if you live in an open carry state, they're carrying. If you live in a concealed carry state, you get that dumbass that may want to test the waters. Okay, so there are dangers to both, obviously. Okay, so maybe The concealed carry guy be like, you don't want. He can just look at the hyper-offended douchebag and be like, don't test the water. Don't test me. Do
Right.
not test me, because he doesn't know. And it could be a classic case of bringing a knife to a gunfight. It could be a lot of different things. But the thing I would like about open carry is you're already. I mean, you've already got in a position where you're more than likely gonna, if you're trained properly, you're gonna draw faster than somebody else. So again, that debate can go on from here to eternity based on an infinite number of scenarios you can throw out there.
Right.
The thing I'm happy about is the fact that if you got both options, either way, the perpetrator or the dumbass is like, okay, I don't know if he's not carrying openly, but this is concealed carry. Do I really want to play chicken with this guy?
Exactly.
See what I'm saying?
Exactly. Well, it's just like growing up. Like I said, I'm a lot older than the guys that were on the show and stuff like that. Growing up, we carried rifles like crazy in our back windows of our truck.
Yeah.
And they were loaded.
Yeah.
You know, you had 30-30s, you had 30-06, you had 22s, you had shotguns. You know, you carried them in there, or you laid them in the seat where they were up like this. You drive to school.
Yep.
With them in the window.
Yep.
You don't do that now.
Yeah. What changed? That's the culture. That's the fact that we have kids that don't know how to act because parents who don't know how to train them because the parents weren't raised right. The gun is never the problem. The human being is the problem. They are always the damn. Aside from manufacturer defects that need to be addressed. Okay. The human being, 99.9% of the problem time is the problem. And I like Chris Mine said, probably open carry if we were to normalize guns more. Here's the thing. That point, the rifles in the back of the window rack of the truck, there was never a problem before. In the 50s, they were literally having firearms classes in schools.
Yeah, exactly.
So the guns are never the problem. It's the retards who don't know what they're doing. It's the mentally unstable people who are just not fit to live in civilized society.
It's also the people that aren't around hunting rifles or around people that hunt, that learn at a very young age what a weapon is and how to use it. And if you don't use it correct, you're going to get your ass beat.
Yep.
You know, that's how I grew up. And everything.
Exactly.
And you learn respect for it. They don't have that now. You got so many people in the city going out and buying guns for protection.
Yeah.
And they have no idea what they just bought.
Right.
A lot of them go in there and buy and says, oh, that looks pretty.
You're never going to see one of them break it down, clean it, inspect it. They're just gonna pop a magazine in, rack around, and yeah. Oh yeah. That respect we need to. I'd liken it to an engine overhaul. We need to overhaul the concept of respect, that basic respect for human life, for how firearms work. It's like if I'm building an engine and I don't respect the manufacturer's intent, I'm going to break something and I'm going to shorten the life of that engine, and it's a reflection on me and my craftsmanship. We need to bring that back, that caring about craftsmanship and taking pride in being respectful of things. That needs to make the ultimate comeback.
Yep, that's true.
So
that's exactly true.
It's education on steroids where you actually instill that respect to consequences of your actions and consequences of doing stupid things, consequences of touching something that isn't yours. That needs to make the ultimate comeback.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a lot of training. Parents have got to be responsible for their actions, dealing with children. If you're going to have a weapon in the house, you need to teach the kids about that weapon.
I mean,
you
literally break it down in front of them.
Right. Exactly. You break it down, you take them to the target range, you show them what it can do. And if you've got it for house defense, get some training on how to prepare
Mm-hmm. You know
if
what to
you're not
do is
there and that child's supposed to be there.
what I would love to see. Not only paper targets are fine, but you need to show those kids that you need to have those kids putting rounds into ballistic gel, because that makes it real for them. You need both the paper target and that's something you guys should have in Second Amendment Ranch, a ballistic gel range for the kids and for basically anybody. This is what it's simulated human flesh and organs. This is what it does. You see what I'm saying? That you need to. That's something you need to tattoo into them. You need that. You need that videos of that. You need the range with ballistic gel. This is what it does to the human body once it enters. This is what makes it real. Because paper is just gonna bust right through. No big deal.
Right. And a
So,
hog works real good for that too. Then
Oh, yeah.
barbecue them.
Oh yeah, like Forged in Fire and stuff where eat with keel,
Yeah. But no. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, we got
So
4 people watching this.
I don't watch the news anymore because I mean I'll check. I get my stuff off of the internet primarily, but the news, especially with guns, they don't tell you. They don't tell you this is what happened, and you figure out what you want to think on your own. They're telling you what to think. They're demonizing you if you don't think what they want you to think. Okay.
Right. And April had a good point here. Kids learn BB guns in Boy Scouts. They also threw tomahawks, shot bows and arrows. Exactly right.
Yes.
They don't do that anymore.
Nope. My uncle took me out to his property. I got some time in a 243, and damn, that thing kicked. That thing kicked really hard. But and he let me use a BB gun. Yeah. Here's the thing: parents are no longer allowed to be parents, and kids don't have rites of passages anymore. So they're literally making the culture, and your social justice keyboard killers are making this stuff up as they go, because they don't have the rites of passage like we used to. Okay, that's the problem. Parents cannot be parents anymore. The state runs everything, and the parents are just baby men at this point. And we need to get back to where parents say, "These are our children, not yours. Screw you. We know how to raise them." And that means parents are saying, "We're taking the power back by raising our children properly, to not give the state a reason to step in." Okay.
Right.
So the family unit needs to get Make America Great. The family unit needs to grow up here and get strong again and properly raise their kids again. Okay, that's what is the comeback. Okay.
Yeah, they got to get their morals back and get everything straightened out.
Right, because morals and discipline in this society today are exclusive to the military and the clergy. We need to change that to where it applies to everybody. Because the worse your morality is, the easier it's the state to step in and dictate to you. Okay, that's the problem. The parents need to reach down, grab a hold, and learn some of the old school lessons from the grandparents. The parents obviously didn't teach them squat. Okay.
April said Idaho still allows it. Spanking is still legal in Idaho. Kids shot BB guns this summer in Idaho as young as my 7-year-old.
Yep.
Okay. I can tell you that. That's great. Here in Missouri, the child is legal to go deer hunting with a rifle at 6 years old.
Wow, that's impressive.
And that got changed. Oh, what was it? 20 years ago.
Yeah.
There was no age limit on it.
Mm-hmm.
I was probably 5 the first time I went deer hunting with Papa and everything. But it's 6 now. And the reason I know that, a friend of mine that I deer hunt with, his daughter shot her first deer when she was 4 with a youth 243,
Nice.
right? With him, with him. Okay. And she was so happy. I mean, it was a little buck, but it was this big to her.
Oh yeah.
Right. So come the next year, she's 5 years old and she's ready to go deer hunting. Missouri Department of Conservation put out they had to be 6 years old to go deer hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, they changed it because they didn't want me to go hunting.
Yeah.
That's all she said. And she still deer hunts to this day. And she's got a little daughter that will deer hunt in the future with us.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. We teach them the right way out there with rifles, with the crossbows, everything. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that kind of old school respect needs to come back. And the progressives who want the state to rule over the children and use the parents for nothing but baby makers, they need to be told to go pound sand, in the sense that they don't know what's best. They know what they want, but they don't live in the land of reality. They live in the land of theory and conjecture, and they think their theory and conjecture is just as good as reality. They think it's just as the traditions are hard established. But
and the parents have got to step up, because the school system we have right now, all they're doing is dumbing down our kids.
The kid, I don't want to say that. Yeah, they're dumbing down the kids on a level that's terrifying. Yeah, it really is. The parents need to first of all, the parents need to remember what they were taught from the older generations, and they need to say, we're going to teach this to our kids, and we're going to collectively go to the schools. We're collectively going to go to state houses and say, we're raising our kids now. You're not using us as nothing but baby makers, and you rule over our children and treat them like sheep. You can go pound sand. You're gonna start repealing these laws. And you're gonna leave the hell alone. You're gonna let us raise our kids the way we see fit.
Yeah, and you look at it now, all of them's doing virtual school.
Well, yeah, they're destroying children's ability to develop interpersonal skills. They're doing this on purpose.
They're enjoying Google.
Yeah.
If you don't know the answer, Google it.
Well, that's the ultimate. First of all, it's the ultimate form of intellectual laziness, and second of all, like when I Google stuff, I always have a subject matter expert that I get a hold of to verify stuff. There's no verification anymore. If it's on Google, it's true, and it's like, wait a minute.
Right.
So yeah,
you see what I'm saying is, they got so many ways to cheat now.
Oh yeah.
And it's something else. I see too many of the kids around here when I'm up at the restaurant doing the other live show in the mornings, Wake Up Gallatin. I see a couple of the kids come in with the school laptops, right? And I'm like, okay, what are you doing? And they go, well, we're doing our homework. I said, is that all you do? The teacher isn't there live with you or anything? Oh, no. I went, well, that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, it's just
just like April said in there. I actually had a teacher say Google it in an IEP meeting for her son.
Wow.
Now that tells you right there that teacher shouldn't be paid.
Teachers in this day and age, the new breed of teachers are just lazy. They're lazy. And I don't even know how our children are being destroyed by lazy people who simply want to be there. They're nothing but overpaid babysitters. They really are. They're nothing but overpaid babysitters at this point.
Exactly. Okay. Let's see here. We've been on here for about an hour and a half, and we're getting away from the Second Amendment on a lot of the stories.
No, here's what I'll say about here's the thing. Okay, you remember Gunny Hathcock, right?
Yep.
Okay, here's the thing. In a way we are, but in a way we're not. In a way, the way we're not, him actually pulling the trigger was the last thing he did. There was the stalking, there was the intelligence gathering, there was, the primary target and targets of opportunity. Pulling the trigger was the last thing he did. Pulling the trigger, if whether it be a person defending himself or a person committing a crime, that's the last thing they do. There's a whole process that every human being goes through but to get to the point where they line up the shot and pull the trigger. What we're essentially discussing from a Second Amendment standpoint is the idea that if we're raising our kids right, we're educating people and holding them to account, the odds of them lining up the shot and pulling the trigger for a nefarious purpose are minimized. Just a thought. So, as long as we preface our conversations to where this is the whole process you go through from the time you point out your weapon, because you don't pull out your weapon for no damn reason. Nobody does. There's always a reason. We have to get into the psychology and the philosophy of what brings you from not having your weapon in your holster to have it out pointed at somebody wanting to shoot them. We have to have that conversation. Okay. Because that ignorance is what allows these pea-brain, mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging politicians to wipe their ass with Marbury v. Madison. Okay?
Right.
That's the damn problem. That's what we need. I hate these people because I'll be damned if I'm going to be lectured by somebody about my mental health from people who don't handle firearms, have private security teams, and they have no knowledge base to legitimately utter the words common sense with relation to gun violence and gun rights. These peons simply barf up. There's a show called Herman's Head, and there's an episode called Open All Night, and what the logic character, the fear character, he said, for consequences for his actions, he said, you must wear the panties of death. And then when the sensitivity character chimed in and said, panties of death, what's that? He said, I simply merged together the two things he's most afraid of, panties and death. So these people who use all this terminology, they're literally just mashing words and terms that scare the hell out of people. And there's no real sense to it. They do it to keep people scared and emotional. Okay, these little troglodytes use the term assault weapon. It was invented by Hillary Clinton. Okay, there is no such thing as an assault weapon. It is a propaganda term invented by Hillary Clinton to scare people. Assault is not an action. Okay. So we need to challenge these people by saying, you need to sling yourself. I'm not going to let you just barf up word sandwiches of crap to scare people half to death to give you more power. Screw you. I'm not going to be lectured by these people. I'm not going to be dictated to by those people, because they are literally vilifying an inanimate object, and they're demonizing those who don't. They have no right to speak on mental health because they're mouth-breathing peons who don't deserve to be involved in this discussion. There you go.
Okay. Are you using your phone or your computer?
Hopefully this week I will have my damn laptop. I'm as God is my witness, I'm waiting on my new laptop.
Okay. Even when you use your phone and when you get your laptop, right?
Yeah.
Make sure you get you a set of headsets.
Yeah, I'm working on that too.
We're getting feedback.
Yeah, I know. I got it's. I'm putting my tongue on that because it's like I feel really bad. So
well, that's all right. I'm just telling you. And your microphone in your computer breaks up with the feedback.
Gotcha.
Okay. That way you can, when you get your new laptop, try to figure everything out. I mean, just a cheap set of headset is all you need.
What about these earbuds? Will that work?
Yes, they will. That will work perfect.
There we go.
A lot of podcasters or live people use those.
Yeah.
And everything. You'll just go into your settings when you set up,
Mm-hmm.
You'll put your microphone to your computer,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
then you'll put your output to your headset.
Gotcha. Okay.
That way you don't get the feedback. Like when I'm talking, I can hear it coming through your computer through the microphone
Yeah. I got you. Okay.
and stuff. So that makes a better show when you're doing that. And you got your lighting set a little bit better than what you normally do.
Yeah. Oh, April Mueller said they will want another false flag to make more gun control. That's what they always want. That is what they want.
They will, what they'll end up doing it is they're going to put it another bill way underneath.
Mm-hmm.
That's why everybody, when a bill is being presented, you got to read that entire bill. What's going into it.
They stuff so much crap into it that they hope you won't read. April, thanks for the tip. I'll head there and I'll get it when I get my laptop as soon as I can. So yeah, all I'm gonna say is I will personally never put any of my weapons on online as far as that people seeing it. The only people that are ever gonna see it are invaders that did not get an invite. They'll get the business, but other than that, nobody needs to see what I got. Mine just, when in doubt, committed suicide by drowning. So yeah.
Right. But around here, I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I can show them. Nobody's going to come to my door.
Yeah.
And Missouri won't do it.
Yeah. Where I live, a couple of the cops kind of know me, and they know I am a homebody. I want nothing to do with nobody. My reason for being is to work out, do my thing, and I stay away from people to say, oh, he's a troublemaker. No, he doesn't want a damn thing to do with anybody. He just wants to be left in peace. As long as he can work out, grill dead animals, he's a happy camper.
Right.
So yeah.
And for those watching, you can watch on the let's see where everybody's watching. You can also find us on the Second Amendment Ranch Facebook page. Also, the new Bill of Rights Network Facebook page. And keep an eye on that page for news coming out this week. And we'll leave it at that. A new show coming on the Bill of Rights Network.
Nice.
So we will keep you updated when I know that and we set the time frame. It will be. But I'm just waiting for confirmation today. Well, their power's out right now, so I can't get confirmation. So I got to wait for that to come online. And it'll be awesome. I mean, be a great show. But if you like this show, share it out as much as you can. Share out all the WO Entertainment shows. The more people we get to watch them, the more people we can reach out to.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get this shared all the way out, and the goal is to get people talking again, talking to each other, not at each other. That talking to each other needs to make a comeback. Okay, talking to each other, and when people are grown folks and they care about each other, you assume as little as possible and you ask questions as respectfully as possible with the intention of really solving problems. And that the problem with these people, they're not grown folks. They're children because they live in this fear-biting woman-dog world where they just they hear monolithic terminology and absolute terms to where they just freak out because they're trained to freak out.
Right.
300 million guns. Who's all got them?
Right.
Well, let's break this down. Oh, no. Guns are bad.
Hey, April's in the chat room. I got a question for her. We was just talking about the shows, and she says she can watch them when she can. Yeah. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the process looking in. And this is the first time it's been talked about. I got to talk about it to Richie tomorrow night, too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking about starting our shows on Roku.
Oh yeah,
Make a Roku channel.
dude, I'm on board. Honestly, the one thing I love about these shows, it's kind of got me. It's getting me out of my shell, and I'm going to suggest something that if as long as Goose and Pimp don't try to have me put in a straitjacket, and this is veteran level stupid and crazy, but I got something I'm going to pitch, and if I don't start like a show in a couple of weeks in a straitjacket, we'll know that they didn't try to have me,
Committed. Yeah. Okay, April, you said cool. If I created one on Roku, would you watch it on Roku? You could watch all the shows.
I'm not on Roku right now, but I'll get on it once we get the shows up and running.
Yeah, all you got to do is get a Roku device and everything. Okay. You need to get that. You could watch a lot of shows just on free on the Roku channel.
Gotcha.
But this would be a channel. Okay, sure, good. The Roku setup would be like when you turn the Roku on, you would have your choice of Netflix, Hulu, stuff like that. Now you would have download ours on there. Anytime you wanted to watch any of the shows, they would be listed on there. You could go back and watch this show and watch that show. So
that'd be cool.
I got to talk to Richie about it because he was talking about starting WO Entertainment TV type deal.
Oh, that would be cool.
I think this would be better going on here like that.
Yeah.
The only thing is we can't go live on there. All these would be the old pre-recorded shows.
Gotcha. But at least it's another way of getting the word out. It's another way of getting ourselves out there.
Yeah. I'm looking into it. I got to spend a little money to get it started, but once that's over, then we're good to go. So.
Okay, cool.
Well, with that all being said, I think we're going to end the show tonight. I thank you, Mickey, for coming on board and everything. Cameron will be back next week. I'm sure they'll have power on by next week.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, they're not going to be under the ice storm that long. About the next 24, 36, 48 hours. They should be out of it. And then they'll all be running around in shorts again in 60 and 70 degree weather. So, okay. With that all being said, we'll be back here again next week on Monday night and everything. I'm Carl.
I'm the Harambe Keeper, Mickey Severson.
And we will see you next week. Have a good evening.